Welcome to the Pulse Podcast, where we discuss the latest trends in workplace, technology, and healthcare equipment. Everything from AI to business transformation. I'm Neal Monaghan, Sales Manager on the DLL Commercial Finance team. Today, we're diving into part two of our discussion on how precision strategy to work with a single financial partner like DLL provides both inventory financing and leasing solutions has helped grow their business. If you haven't listened to part one, I would encourage you to check out the previous episode. Also joining me on the podcast is Jeff Truitt.
Thank you, Neal. My name is Jeff Truitt. I am a district sales manager with DLL, and we are privileged today to have with us Vinnie DeLeonibus from Precision Copy Products. Thank you for joining, Vinnie.
Welcome back, Vinnie.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be back.
Vinnie, we know no two customers are exactly alike, and neither are their financing needs. Sometimes the best solution isn't necessarily a standard one. Is there a customer story that comes to mind where creativity and flexibility in financing made a real difference? What was the challenge or opportunity, and how did you approach it?
I've done a lot of business in schools over the years, and we pivoted into Chromebooks. Everybody was looking for devices for their students.
Yeah.
We could create a leasing program that had a 90-day deferred first payment, which, if we looked at the calendar, took these school districts into the next fiscal year. So when COVID hit, there was not budgeted money for devices, but we found a creative way to push the budget money into the next school year, where they had 3 months to figure out how to do it. In that case, I think the government helped, but it was that's another avenue that we've looked at over the years of creativity, competitively taking down deals with other vendors.
Well put.
And those deals that you're speaking of bring up another product that DLL excels at, which is our public finance product, where we work in the commercial or the government space, where we do schools and government entities. And that's one of the ones you were talking about there, which is another product that Precision has taken advantage of and has certainly worked to your benefit over the years.
It certainly has, and it works in multiple ways. As a business owner, it works. I'd say we get very competitive rates. So our numbers come into play. We don't have to worry about the back end of the lease, because it's the dollar out essentially to the customer. It's a lease purchase agreement, right? So at the end of whether we're upgrading that equipment or somebody else does, it eliminates a major headache to us as the business owner. If it's our equipment, like I said, we do a lot of used equipment, and they don't have a use for it. We're able to resell that, where the end user is able to just dispose it and it be done with it. There's a deal we did over the last right up until the end of last year. It was done during it was a school deal done during their Christmas break, and being the fact that lease was over and terminated, I had a third party at the school picking up the equipment to dispose, and they got rid of it. That was done. We never even had to touch it. So logistically, that public finance program provided the capital at the most aggressive rate you can find, and it eliminated an entire back end that any of us had to, both myself and the customer, have to worry about.
And interestingly enough, when you talk about public finance, it's amazing that these entities know about it. If you don't bring it up to them, you don't have that as an option. But when you do bring up the tax-exempt lease purchase to these entities, they're aware of it. They use it for other collateral, so it works well within these government agencies. They're very familiar with it, so it's not like you're speaking Greek to them. They understand it.
That's correct. I don't think I've ever had a pushback on it. And the amount of times that actually, it's very helpful when you're in that program too. We do get the pre-published amortization schedule. So we understand where we're at. Everybody understands where you're at in that financial obligation.
It's complete transparency.
Complete transparency.
Black and white, right?
Yes, sir.
Clear.
And with that, we'd like to thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Pulse Podcast. I'm Jeff Truitt.
And I'm Neal Monaghan on behalf of DLL. Thank you, Vinnie, and we'll see you on the next one.
Vinnie.
Thanks, guys. It was a pleasure. Look forward to talking to you guys again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This podcast is brought to you by DLL Group. All rights reserved. This podcast is for general information purposes only and should not be used as a substitute for professional advice. The opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the participants. Nothing herein should be construed as legal, tax, financial, accounting, or investment advice. Please visit www.dllgroup.com/aboutus for further details.